ladies and gentlemen, I just came off of watching the Nintendo Direct, and I thought it was good. As like some in the chat are saying, it was better than the State of Play, maybe better than Summer Game Fest, but like this was a Nintendo Direct that we didn't know how it would go. You know, like this is probably the final Nintendo Direct we get that is focused on the Nintendo Switch, because spoiler, as it ends with Metroid Prime 4, which looks great, by the way, that is probably going to be a cross-gen title. It's supposed to be in 2025. If it's released in 2025, what are you releasing it on? Probably the Switch's successor, right? That is probably our glimpse at what will be a cross-gen situation that Nintendo's doing, which I did a video previous on. But it was a fine show. I literally walked away. I was hoping to walk away with at least 3 or 4 things that I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Or like, that's like, I recognize that's a hype moment. But I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 things on the list. Let me just get out of the way. The thing that I find the most kind of annoying about these Nintendo Directs, and that's not really annoying, but it's just, there's always I call them the direct games. And what I mean is, you know, the ones that just like, is anybody actually buying this kind of a thing? Like, it looks fine, but how many people are actually purchasing, like, going to buy this? You know, like, and then every Nintendo Direct has those. That's usually a lot of them. But there's a lot of cool things, you know? I thought it was really cool to see Dragon Quest 1 through 3 happen, and they're all getting like an HD, 2D HD remake, you know? There is, oh my god, we got a super chat. And I thought the new Danganronpa thing, the 100-line defense, I thought that was pretty cool too. The concept of like, we have to defend this school for 100 days, and literally characters can die in the process, but based off of the, you know, decisions you made defending the school. Pharmagia, that's cool if you are into Overlord, which I am. I love the Overlord mechanic. I'm not too into the aesthetic of the game. Mio, Memories in Orbit, that was another neat highlight, you know, that just, I like the silent narrative and with all the scratchy art style. Like, there's some neat things here and there, but the first party stuff, that was freaking cool. Because literally kicking off with Mario and Luigi Brotherhood, I don't remember which one it was. I think that looks really neat. Like, the art style looks so different than what usually Nintendo does. And I'm somebody that is not familiar with Mario and Luigi other than like outside, like the game series. I mean, obviously the characters, but the game, it just has this neat art style that looks so different than Nintendo's usual thing. I like that there's some turn-based battles that you can have some kind of cooperative play to, and it just looks fun. And that was such a cool way to open the show. Donkey Kong getting an HD something for the Nintendo Switch. I don't know, like they did a good job. Like, I was really surprised that Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, I really thought that would be the thing that you would close the show with, because the Zelda game looks so much fun. You actually get to play as Zelda. And the whole echo mechanic, you make copies of things in the world that actually, like, you could use wherever, whenever, even copying enemies and sending them out. I'm a sucker for that shit. I love stuff like that. What?
Also create echoes of monsters. After doing so, they'll fight by your side.
That game looks really cool. Like I walked in this show hoping that there would be something that would really pull me back onto my Nintendo Switch. I really hoped that would happen. And I would say I got that, you know, and one of the things I was hoping would happen is something for Mario Party. And we got Super Mario Party Jamboree, which scared me at first. You know, I was really hoping we'd just get DLC for Superstars, or just expand that. But then Super Mario Party Jamboree, it's like a sequel to the Super Mario Party game for the Switch, which I know some people feel complicated about. I thought that game was fine. Personally, I thought the game was fine. I really liked it. And this looks like they even have more boards, you know, like here's 5 brand new boards with their own little gimmicks to them. But then we have 2 classic boards that we're also adding to the game. So that's cool. Like, you got your mix of new and old. And the multiplayer, like, have up to 20 players working their way up this ladder and seeing who gets on top. That's so cool. Like, that's another game that I'm like, oh, I might have to get back into my Switch. Other than there being so many of the remasters, the HD remakes and ports, like, I've just gotten used to that stuff. I thought this was a really good Nintendo Direct. Like, they could have just had Brothership, Zelda, and Mario Party in it alone, but then that ending. We finally got to see Metroid Prime 4, and that's nuts. Like, I wasn't sure. Like I thought we could see it, but I wasn't sure because it's like, that game, is that going to make it, like, is that going to be your big holiday game this year? And it's not, and we now see what, like, the holiday games are that are very fair, but they have that 2025 at the end that just makes me like, okay, this is probably going to be one of your cross-gen games that I did a whole thing about, of that's the plan for Nintendo. But Metroid looks really visually great. You can tell how much work they're put into it. The plan for Nintendo, Metroid Prime is going to be the first part of it. I could almost very much imagine that. I really dug it. What did you guys think?